Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm John Lazarus with Stories Matter and D&E Publishing. From Jonathan Franzen to Gabriel Garcia Marquez to Dominic Toretto, many of the great writers and poets throughout history understand the power and importance of family. Families are the most essential social unit for human beings. They mold us, shaping our interests, values, and worldview. And even though most of us spend our life trying to replace them with fantasy football leagues, work units, and creative writing workshops where no one is allowed to question the patriarch, there's really no substitute for family. Families are a great tool, then, for a fiction writer. Writing about family is one of the easiest ways to generate conflict that's relatable and grounded. For a writer who is suffering from writer's block, your own family can be a great source of inspiration. In my own career, I've written several characters, scenes, and whole books about the family I grew up in and the several I've created and since moved on from. We'll explore everything from abandoned children to being partly raised by a whore on this edition of Stories Matter. Today's video is brought to you by the Explorers Foundation. The Explorers Foundation is a wellness and therapy program aimed at rehabilitating troubled teens struggling from a wide range of disorders, including depression, anxiety, being bullied, having sexual urges, bullying others, having too much homework, laziness, not being popular, internet addiction, gingivitis, questioning authority, and general ugliness. Explorers Foundation offers a 1-month intensive program where qualified authorities take your child to a remote wilderness retreat in the dead of night in a panel van. Once completely removed from the source of their problems, therapists will help rebuild your children into the ones you've always wanted, customizable with a quick, easy-to-fill-in online survey. Call the Explorers Foundation today for more information. Okay, from the Bennetts to the Boltons to the Berensteins, literature is chock full of compelling families who love each other but also harbor terrible secrets. When you write about family, you should first ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1. What is the composition? Just like every good woman asks herself once she finishes secretary school, you need to decide if you want a small family or a large family. Is this a nuclear family of 4 from Indianapolis? Or a 4-generation Catholic household with 12 children, somehow all of whom survived measles and SIDS? Question 2. What are the relationship dynamics? You need to ask yourself who in the family is most closely connected to whom. Is your teen protagonist more closely connected to a doting grandmother than her parents? Do 2 of the siblings share a special bond? Question 3. What is the source of the conflict? Think about how the decisions each character makes affect the rest of the family. Addiction, jealousy, and infidelity are reliable go-tos, but try to be unique. Maybe the children are bitter at being physically deformed because their dad was an aging rock star who used his damaged semen to conceive them at age 77. Now, here are a few tips to improve your family stories. Step 1. Learn as much as you can about your own family. If you're anything like me, work and other things has made you not know your family as well as you should. Take time to sit down and talk with siblings, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and even your own children if you can bear it. Ask about your family history. Ask about stories of migrations, divorces, weddings, graduations, weird surgeries. Ask their names if you have to. If these types of conversations take you to uncomfortable places, don't worry. You can try wiretapping or spying on your own family to gain information. You might learn some interesting information. To give a quick example, for years I thought the woman who lived in our house from the ages of 4 to 9 was my dad's sister, but after a little digging, I discovered she was just a common prostitute. And sometimes you'll have side benefits unrelated to your writing. When I studied my family tree, for example, I learned that I should get screened for pancreatic cancer, as that killed a lot of the women in my family, and for syphilis, which killed a lot of the men. Step 2. The past is the present is the future. A great man once said, "Our life story doesn't begin and end with our birth and death. It overlaps with that of our ancestors and descendants." That man was actually my father, and it's a shame lots of people ignored his wisdom just because he died in a 4th of July fireworks accident. Masterpieces like East of Eden and 1,000 Splendid Suns, and possibly Absalom, though I'm not entirely sure on that one, show us how trauma can almost be genetic. You could, for example, trace the actions of an abusive father down the line and see how he has caused his grandchildren to be socially isolated. In my sci-fi thriller, There's No Place Reich Home, my protagonist goes back in time to kill Hitler, only to erase himself from existence and discover he was actually one of Hitler's descendants. Step 3. Go the non-traditional route. Not all families have to start with the 5 beers deep patriarch nutting inside the matriarch. As my own publishing company has taught me, if you try hard enough, you can make any group of people into a family. You could always try exploring the dynamics of queer families, though I'd hurried up on that, because Project 2025 will probably get all those books removed from libraries and bookstores. But go beyond parent-child families. As a lot of us get older, we drift away from our traditional families, either due to things like death caused by nephrosis, or a very busy writing career, or a YouTube channel. But as we do, we often look for replacements to help us overcome our crippling loneliness. Your family could be anything: an organized crime syndicate, a subreddit, a group of 8 male flatmates who are also strippers. As long as you follow all of my other advice, everything will be fine. That's all for today. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll leave you with this week's This Day in Literary History. See you on the next one.